All right, party people. Oh, shoot. Let's start it again. Party people. There we go. What's going on? The magic of live broadcasting. But as they say, after the show, it's the after party. We're here at the after party of this unprecedented, first of its kind town hall meeting to give alumni a little bit of a heads up of what's going on with this controversial move to the Colonial Athletic Association. My name is Samaj Marsh. I'm the founder of BlueDeathValley.com. And today I got my ace with me, Craig Turner, longtime A&T insider and a beat writer on BlueDeathValley.com for over 2 decades. I know you guys are asking, where is the former wide receiver and Greensboro native, Doug Brown? Doug is in transit. He will be here shortly. He won't miss this for the world, so just be patient. The man and hour will be here. But we are here tonight to give fans a little bit of extra bonus coverage of this CAA move. And we got a big show planned for you. Hopefully everything works out well, better than the beginning of the show, obviously. But we got a panel of some experts here who's going to give us their insight on this move, and we can ask them a little bit more technical questions on how stuff like this operates and how does it go down. But Craig, you watched this town hall with me. I thought, first of all, kudos to Earl Hilton, Chancellor Martin, everybody at the AAF and the Alumni Association who put this together. They didn't have to do it, and I wasn't expecting them to do it, but they did it, and I thought it went off super well. I thought it was a lot more polished and had a lot more substance and meat than even the presentation that Earl had at the board of trustees meeting. So I thought that was awesome, and he made a pretty good sales pitch. So what about you? What was your thoughts of this whole town hall?
It answered a lot of questions. Those of us who follow this on a regular basis pretty much knew what the answers were, but I think the vast majority of A&T fans and alums didn't have a real clear idea of what was the reasoning behind moving to the CAA. And I think now a lot of those questions were answered. It's not going to satisfy everybody. There are going to be people that are going to be, anti-move of any sort, dating back to when we left the MEAC. But for the vast majority of the A&T faithful, they're looking forward to it with a little bit of apprehension, and I think that's the best way to describe it.
Right, and I think that's fair. And I have my thoughts, and I'll share them throughout the course of the night. And at some point, we're going to open up the airways for all the fans to to chime in and give their 2 cents on this move. But before we do that, I wanted to bring in somebody who has a kind of an intimate knowledge of A&T's travels over the last couple of years, if you will, from the Eastern Athletic Conference to the Big South. And he was actually the person who broke the story 2 years ago when A&T announced they were leaving the MEAC. So let me bring out to our show first guest of the night, former news and record. He's more than a beat writer. He was a kind of reporter, just extraordinaire. He covered everything around Greensboro, from high school, college. He was definitely the main man to get information about A&T. And let me bring in my main man, Jeff Mills. So, Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm sorry, my video's not working. My camera's not working. So,
hey, man,
you get Tiny Jeff on press row there instead.
That's pretty cool. So was that like it looks like
the ACC tournament. Yeah,
ACC tournament. Yeah. I got you. So Jeff, 2 years ago, you shocked the world when you had a byline, and it was
that.
Yeah, and you scooped everybody. So I got to give you props on that. But you had the byline, and the article was that A&T was leaving the MEAC for something called the Big South Conference, right?
Right. Yep.
And now, less than a year later, we're
on the move again.
Actually, less than a year since we actually made that move, more headlines now about A&T going to something called the Colonial Athletic Association. So were you personally shocked about this flip flopping and
I was surprised by the timing more than anything else. I kind of figured that eventually I knew that the Big South was going to be just sort of a stepping stone. I know the grand plan here. I think and I don't think it's a secret. Chancellor Martin said in his remarks to the faculty senate a couple of years ago that he someday envisions A&T playing FBS football, and I do think that will happen eventually. But that's going to be. He's not going to try to do what FAMU did years ago and just go whole hog and jump right in. It's going to be a gradual process. So I thought they'd spend 3-4 years maybe in the Big South, and then start looking for a little bit more prestigious FCS conference. But the thing that surprised me was, and this it goes back to the Colonial themselves being in a state of flux right now with all the realignment that's going on in college athletics. I think by my count, there were 47 schools that are changing conferences this year. It's not just A&T. So the Colonial reached out to A&T, and I think it's the big difference between this move and the move to the Big South. I think that move, A&T had outgrown the MEAC, and I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true.
Jeff, you gonna start some?
They had outgrown the MEAC. I mean, what more?
He's right.
What more did you have to prove? I mean, you were going to be the best sports program in that conference year after year after year after year. And do you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or do you want to get better and challenge yourselves? And so I think that the move to the Big South was one that A&T pursued, but this move to the Colonial actually pursued A&T, which is actually quite flattering, if you're A&T, to think that, another conference wants you bad enough to make an unsolicited move to get you. So that to me was the surprise. The surprise wasn't that they moved. The surprise was the timing, and that they didn't initiate it, but the conference actually invited them. So I think they're ahead of schedule, and I think that's probably going to be an issue that A&T has to figure out how to deal with, because when you're ahead of schedule, it also means that you've lost a few years of fundraising before you make that move. And so that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest challenge for any school making any kind of move is the money part.
Earl said that he would have preferred to have about 6 or 7 more years.
I was thinking 4 or 5.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like you say, once you get an offer you can't refuse, you have to accept it and just figure it out. I guess that's his logic, at least. So you tell me
they're not going to be the smallest program in the CAA, because A&T's program is bigger than Hampton's, whether Hampton wants to admit that or not. A&T's got a little bit more money, a little bit more resources than Hampton, so Hampton's going to be the smallest monetary program in the Colonial. And A&T, I think, with the direction that the university is moving and the growth that they have seen, even when a lot of universities are contracting, A&T has continued to grow. So I think that the course is correct.
Okay. And Craig, you just jump in here if you need to. But here's my question. What is so much more attractive about the CAA than the Big South? Because it seems like everybody is, like it's like one of those 80s movies when you have a girl and you see somebody better and you just at the dance and you just kind of like sidestep her and go with the pretty chick. Like why is everybody so enamored about the CAA?
The difference in the Colonial, and this is from an academic standpoint, is that the Colonial has R1 and R2 research facilities within its conference, and the Big South does not. The Big South is they're fine universities, but they're not research universities, and so you're aligning yourself with universities that are more on par with your academic mission. Then it's that's the other side of it. Is you're getting the kind of college athletes that will go to those schools, that will go to R1 and R2 schools, whereas in the Big South, they're different kinds of schools. And I think that's the big difference. It's not so much what's on the playing field; it's more what's in the classroom.
Yeah, I think that was the driving force behind the move. When it all boiled down to it,
Mm-hmm.
It was less. It wasn't really that much about athletics as it was about positioning the university with universities of similar reputation, size, academics,
Absolutely.
and that's something that the chancellor made no bones about in his remarks yesterday. That was always his first choice.
Mm-hmm.
And with the growth of A&T's going through now, and closing in on R1 status, it was. I agree with him. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer decision.
Athletically, the only real benefit that I can see is that in the Colonial, what you have there, the schools athletically are pretty similar to the Big South, but the difference is that the Colonial is a better basketball league than the Big South was. The Colonial has actually, this is the first time A&T is going to be in a league that's gotten more than one bid to the NCAA tournament. That there's actually at-large bids that have come out of the Colonial before. It doesn't happen every year. It might happen every 3 or 4 years that they'll get 2 in. But there's a chance that in basketball, if you're the second best team in the Colonial, or if you're the conference champion in the Colonial, and you get upset in the tournament, you can still go to the NCAA tournament. You don't have to win that tournament title to get in the NCAA tournament. If you have a good enough season, you can prove yourself. You get in that large bid out of the Colonial.
But okay, that's a double-edged sword because obviously these are not cupcakes.
Athletes. Yeah.
Right. And so I had a discussion on our fan forum on BlueDeathValley.com fan forum when I was talking to someone, and I guess the question was raised. Look at the New England Patriots in the AFC East. Is there any merit with being a big fish in a small pond? Until you get to the tournament, and if your road to the postseason is innately easier, is that an advantage? But because it seems like we're going to be going through like Murray's Row just to even get a chance at the big dance.
Yeah, this is if you're talking just basketball, this is a tough basketball league,
right?
And it's going to be, you look at what Wilmington is doing this year, and then you look back 2-3 years ago, and they really struggled, and there was the fan base there was pretty restless, but it is a tough. There's no margin for error in this league in terms of if you miss on 2 recruits, you're in trouble. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's sobering. And I guess, at the end of the day, we made that decision. I think Chancellor Martin, more so than even Earl Hilton, was the person driving it. And if the Chancellor wants something, it's going to happen. And I think I kind of could sense a little bit out of him, too, in the press conferences over the last weekend, that he might be a little bit kind of frustrated with some of the pushback, because it's like, look, I didn't led you this far. You need to have a little bit of faith in me. I got this nice little crown jewel building on the corner of Dudley and East Market Street now with my name on it. Trust me, if I say we can do something, we can do it. And obviously there's a lot of people in Aggie fan base who still kind of cynical, maybe skeptical, maybe a better word.
Well, I understand. You were in the this is a school that was in a conference, was a founding member of a conference, and was in it for close to 50 years.
Yes,
and that means something. You don't just throw that away without thinking long and hard about it. But it goes back to what I had said earlier. You've outgrown it. I mean, it's the MEAC is never going to be the MEAC you remember as a student. It's the MEAC is different now than it was, and your university is different now than it was even 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's this makes a lot of sense. I know that a lot of alumni are going to have a problem with it, and I get it. I totally get it, but it is the right move.
All right. Well, if anybody's listening right now, we got a former News and Record beat reporter of the A&T beat writer, Jeff Mills. He's a free agent now. He's still writing a lot. He's still writing a lot and still got a lot of bylines out there. Jeff, give us kind of a lay of the land right now of the newspaper industry, because I mean, this is crazy. Over the last 2 years, we done lost an all-star team of journalists. To be honest with you,
you've lost just about everything, and it breaks my heart. On the day that I started the News and Record in 1999, this was my 5th newspaper job. I'd already been in the field for about 12 years before I got here. And the day I started there, just in the sports department, there was a sports editor, an assistant sports editor, and 13 full-time sports writers covering we had a beat writer for each of the A&T or each of the ACC schools. A&T had a beat writer that Craig Greenlee, you probably know Craig.
Yeah, I remember Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Craig covered A&T and covered some other general assignment stuff. And we had 3 full-time high school reporters. We had a golf writer. We had a NASCAR writer. You know, it was a real mid-sized metro newspaper. It was the kind of place that Stephen A. Smith worked there as an intern. Tony Barnhart, Mr. SEC, used to work at the News and Record. The alumni list from there is tremendous. So, and what's happened over the years and with different corporate ownerships and stuff like that, it's been whittled down to just one full-time sports writer right now at the News and Record.
So we got one sport. We got one sports writer.
He's a great sports writer. But he's all alone.
He's doing everything right. So we don't have a beat writer anymore. We don't have anybody breaking these stories really.
No.
Because like I say, we wouldn't have known anything about A&T leaving the MEAC if it wasn't for your hard work and your reporting.
You would have known. I knew it basically 2 days for everybody else.
but you put so much meat and context out there. It made sense for us right then and there. We didn't have to start going through rabbit holes with conspiracy theories. You kind of laid out all the bullet points of what's happening. Yeah. And that was great reporting. So
that was a culmination of being an A&T beat writer at that point. I got the A&T beat for the first time in 2010 was my first year as a full-time A&T beat. It was having A&T as part of my beat, right. And so it was a culmination of building relationships at A&T and letting people know that they could trust me. You build up that kind of trust, and people will tell you things. You know that from what y'all have done.
Yeah.
When people trust you and know that you're not going to, say something that shouldn't be said, or if they tell you something's off the record, you keep it off the record. You build that kind of trust, and you find things out.
Absolutely.
That same story of of them going to the Big South. If that had happened in 2010, I probably wouldn't have broke that story because there weren't enough people at the university that trusted me yet. I didn't have a track record there of being someone who could, I wasn't known yet. So it took those years of working with the athletics department and working with, the different people that went through there to build that trust, to have people tell me things that I could use that maybe nobody else is going to get.
Well, we definitely wish you were, still in the mix. Now you still write, but you're still doing a whole bunch of writing. You tell us right now.
I miss it every day. Yeah, I miss it every day. My situation was that I was laid off along with 6 other people on the same day.
Right. Ed Harden. We got to give a shout out to Ed Harden. He was a poet, man. I tell you.
Yep. Ed's the best. He
was the best.
He's the best. The day that I was laid off, I had 21 years of experience, and I had the least amount of experience of the 6 people who were laid off. So the newspaper lost a lot of experience, a lot of institutional memory and things like that. So
all right,
it's changed a lot.
Well, I know you're gonna, someone's gonna, kind of explode for you because you still have a rare skill set, and that's just being a news hound, man. Because and you guys are, I hate to say it, you guys are a last of a dying breed. Because there's not many news guys out here now. We got a bunch of social media clowns who, don't want to.
That's a little harsh.
No, that's about the most accurate way I can express it. Because they don't want to verify sources. They don't want to go on site. They just want to copy and paste what other people, do the hard work for, and then they just want to put their byline out there. So
there are some tremendous aggregators out there.
Aggregators, man. Hey, I'm gonna bring. Now listen, I'm gonna bring you back. We're gonna have a whole show about aggregation and how much that's a bunch of clown stuff. But in the meantime, Jeff, everybody can follow you. I put your Twitter information up there. Everybody
that's
can
the best
follow.
Way to find me is on Twitter.
Follow you on Twitter, and you still writing, every week doing something for some publication. And we will definitely be staying abreast of all your stuff. But let's say if you got any more information about A&T, if any of your sources, drop some jewels on you, let us know because you
got my number.
I definitely. All right, Jeff. Well, thanks so much, man. And
thanks for having me on. I appreciate it,
man. Thank you for everything you did for A&T over the last couple of years. You're definitely a fan favorite. I can definitely say that.
I appreciate you saying so.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Thanks, man.
Oh, wow. So that was Jeff Mills, formerly of the News and Record, and he's still one of the best newspaper guys, been the best reporters in the city of Greensboro. He's still here. I believe his wife still works for News and Record. But he gave us a lot of insight on this conference move. He kind of wasn't surprised by it. He broke the story 2 years ago, and it's kind of come full circle. Well, even more so than he expected. Well, that he anticipated initially, but now we're in the CAA. I guess off the bigger and better things. So, Craig,
it's been a roller coaster this week. It's been a roller coaster.
And and I guess I haven't had a chance to catch my breath because I was trying to follow it in real time. On Thursdays when they had the emergency BOT Board of Trustees meeting.
Right.
And I was like, what in the world? Why are they talking about this stuff? And then Earl gave his presentation, and it was, I was like, oh shoot, are we about to propose something? And then the next thing you know, he says, I recommend that we go to the Colonial Athletic Conference. That was some murmurs on Blue Death Valley, especially in the private forum. But I was like, this is happening now. I didn't see the times table, the time span. I didn't know why he would do it now. But
I think what happened was with this realignment, with conferences shifting practically every other week, somebody moving to someplace else, they came to us. It's a place where we wanted to, where the administration wanted to be. Eventually, that's what we had planned to do long term anyway. And they came a calling, and they figured better get it now. Why you can get it. It's like going shopping, and you don't intend to buy that new car.
Yeah.
But you just passed by the lot. You didn't intend to buy that new car, but that sucker was too good to pass up. The deal was too good to pass up. So
you know how you avoid that from happening? Just be dead broke. Because look, reality sets in. Reality sets in real quick on that kind of stuff. On that window
shop. A&T is not exactly broke. We're far from being broke, but we're not living in Beverly Hills yet either. But
it's about
yeah. So it's gonna be an adjustment process. Not so much for some of the sports, it's gonna be a real adjustment process, especially for the men's basketball program, which is not performing well at all right now. I think in football, we can play with those people. And we can hold our own. I'm looking at that divisional setup, depending on if they bring in another team into the Southern Division, which they're still looking to add that extra team to make it 7 in each division. There's nobody in there that we can't beat. Right. So I'm not that won't be an issue, I don't think. But men's basketball, though, is going to be a challenge. I think the women's basketball program can hold its own.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
So we'll see. And the rest of our sports play those people anyway during the regular season and non-conference games anyway. Volleyball, softball. So it's not like it's brand new territory for us.
Yeah. Well, actually, we got one more guest. Well, we got 2 more guests actually, but the next guest we're going to bring in tonight, he's going to give us a little bit more insight into the mechanics of all this, these moves, especially from an administrative standpoint. He might be a familiar face to some of you guys. He's an Aggie.
Yeah.
He's a former football player. He's a Hall of Fame football player.
Yeah.
And he has been an athletic director at more than one school. I want to bring out one of the favorite sons of Blue Death Valley, my man, Big Willa Brown. What's going on, Will?
Thank you guys for that grand introduction. How you guys doing?
Okay,
doing good, man.
I gotta admit something, Will. I lied to you. I told you I want you to come over here and talk about this conference stuff. I just want to hang out with you, bro. I just wanted to see you again. I ain't seen your face in so many years, man. Hey, look.
It's been a long time. It's definitely been a long time.
Well, and this, I don't want, this is not too ominous, but talk about our friend Raleigh Bryant. And that was a couple, what was it, 2007. It was back in the dark days of A&T football. We were on a practice field, and after practice, it was a bad season, and it was me, you, and Raleigh, and we're out there on that practice field, and it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and we just sitting back laughing at everything. It's like, you know what? As bad as it is, we still Aggies. It ain't the worst.
At the end of the day, you're exactly right.
At the end of the day, we're still Aggies, man.
You're exactly right.
So how you been doing, Wills? What's going on?
I can't complain. God has blessed me tremendously, and it's a pleasure to get up every day and go on into the office and try to make things work down here at Fort Valley State.
So y'all been doing some. You talking about all these conferences doing poaching and stealing people. y'all Fort Valley State then robbed us of one of our best assistant football coaches. You get
well, we
down there.
Well, our last coach, Maurice Flowers, came in, stayed for a year, maybe a little bit over a year, and position opened at John C. Smith, which was his alma mater. And, I thought he kind of went about it the wrong way in terms of pursuing that, but you can't begrudge somebody who wants to go home. And, so he wound up taking that position. The timing was bad, because you were in the midst of recruiting and all that sort of thing and stuff. So, left us really scrambling, trying to, get a replacement, but not rush at it,
okay.
But to get somebody of quality that we felt could come in and, pick the ball up and keep it rolling. And, with Sean, we think we got that, so we feel like we got a semi-steal on this one.
I know you do.
Yeah, so feel real good. He just got in on Monday of this week, officially. And, he's hit the ground running. Kids are working out at 6 a.m., that sort of thing. And he still got some scholarship dollars available. And he and I talked yesterday for a long time. And, he's planning on utilizing some of those dollars after spring ball is over with, kind of give him some time to finish assessing his needs and look at what we have. And we didn't have a bad squad last year at all. And we had a bunch of kids coming back. But even without a head coach, we signed 22 kids on signing day.
Fort Valley State, yeah.
And so that was outstanding in and of itself. Let us know that, kids like Fort Valley. They like Fort Valley State. Good conference, great facilities, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And matter of fact, I think we got some of the best facilities in the SIAC, bar none. And, so we got a lot of positives there. And I think a guy like Sean can come in there and endear himself, to the people that he needs to be close to. And I think we can get some things going.
All right. So, hey, I'm not going to say you got a whole bunch of new fans in Greensboro, but you got a lot of people who are interested in the program. And we're going to be following from afar and wishing y'all, no, we're not serious. We're going to wish y'all a lot of great things. But tonight, we're kind of trying to figure stuff out here in Aggie Land because we move into a new conference. You heard from Jeff Mills. He kind of broke down some of the behind the scenes workings, but we don't really understand how all this happens from an administrative standpoint, right? So you've been at Jackson State, you've been at A&T, you've been at Fort Valley State, you've been at Bowie State, right? So you understand how this works. So from and I'm not trying to, I don't want you to Monday morning quarterback anything, but just tell us how it works. So when your president drives a move like this as an AD, I guess you just got to make it happen, right? If you're
you got to buckle up and try to do your homework the best that you can, and that especially on the HBCU level, the presidents are going to be president.
Yeah.
So they're going to call the shots specifically as it pertains to athletics. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And, but at the end of the day, your role as the director of athletics is to get the information necessary for that president to pause. Yeah, and I like to say, give him cause to pause, you know, so that he stops and thinks about all the ramifications behind what's going on, who it's going to affect, how it's going to affect you in every way, that sort of thing. And then, you know, he's able or she's able to make a better informed decision. You know, and that's always been the goal of the athletic director, you know, give you the information necessary to make an informed decision, you know, and I'm sure that's probably went through Earl's mind. You know, Dr. Martin's mind was probably made up, you know, having been around him for a short period of time.
Yeah.
You know, every time he talks about peer institutions, you never hear HBCU roll off his lips. You know, if you go back and look through the notes, that sort of thing, and he talked about A&T's peer institutions, okay, they've all been predominantly white institutions. And so to me, knowing that mindset, it wasn't surprising that A&T would make the move to a PWI conference. You know, now this recent move is kind of hectic. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The budget disparity is great. And if I had one question, that would be probably the main question. You know, when the boss man says we're going to move, we're going to move. When the boss man says we're going to find a way to get it done financially, you know, you got to try to believe that he's going to find a way to help get it done financially. It's just a big road to hoe.
All right. And so let me jump in. So right now, our budget right now at this level is around 14.6 million dollars a year. And the number that we floated, that Chancellor Martin floated around yesterday in the newspaper article, or this weekend, it was yesterday, that we want to get to around 25 million.
Yeah, that's the average in the CAA.
So if you're an athletic director and your boss tells you we got to go from 14 to 25, that's not a little bit. You don't find that under your couch, right?
No, that you know, that's one of those instances where you kind of looking cross-eyed, you know, because you want to know where that can come from. And, you know, when you look at the challenge in terms of the facilities and the things that you want to get done, it appears to be a monumental task. There's no doubt about that, you know. And, you know, I know that in a lot of ways, well, when I was the AD, we were borrowing money from auxiliary services, that sort of thing. I know they probably still do. And, but, you know, it's only so much you can get from that well. And, you know, there's a lot of things that's going to have to change or evolve in terms of making that happen. And really, from where I'm sitting, I don't see where 10 million immediately is going to come from. And if you look at it over time is a killer in my estimation.
Yeah.
Because you're moving into this conference in July, with the exception of football. And it's going to be imperative. Yeah. It's going to be imperative that you have some success early on. It's going to be imperative. You know, it's going to be imperative for the sake of your alums. It's going to be imperative for, you know, the sake of your constituents, that sort of thing, that, you know, you don't go into that new conference and immediately become a cellar dweller. So there's some things you're going to...
So what would that do? What if, and I hate to, you know, be doom and gloom, but if we went to the CAA and we just got mollywopped for like the first year, you know, how devastating would that be for this vision?
I think it hurts you not only in terms of the morale of your alums, things of that nature. It's going to hurt you at the gate. You know, no ifs, ands, and buts about that. It's going to hurt you in terms of your fundraising prowess. It's going to hurt you in terms of sponsorships because nobody wants their name attached to a quote unquote losing program or what have you. And it's hard for people to see the vision down the line when we are a right now society. You know, we go through the drive-through as opposed to going inside and getting our food at McDonald's or what have you, that sort of thing. So it's going to be imperative that our folks see some success right away. And not necessarily in terms of championships. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you know, we have to be able to go in and compete right away. I think for our fan base to stay with us and rally behind us and dig deep pocketbook wise, so that we can get that budget up to where it needs to be.
All right, now Craig, let me ask you this though. But you think that Chancellor Martin, you got to take him at his word. You know, he has not.
Yeah.
He's had some lofty goals in the past, and he's almost, I guess, betting 1,000 on the stuff that he said he's going to do. Right. He says he's going to start investing in facilities. Right.
Yeah.
And what were some things he named? He named the War Memorial stuff.
Yeah, that's that money's already there. So they're going to start they'll start all that renovations as soon as baseball season is completed. In May, so that's a done deal. Because the university put aside the money for that, and then the city of Greensboro's thrown in another $1.5 million, $1.75 million, something like that. So that'll take care of itself. The next thing he was listing at in order of priorities would be the renovation and expansion of Truist Stadium. That's the next thing on the horizon.
And that was the end zone complex that we saw a couple years ago with the
they're talking about that, but they're also talking about an expansion of the seating capacity in that stadium, and also putting in a whole news row of skyboxes on the opposite side of that field.
Wow.
So that's probably in the neighborhood of around $20 million for that. But that from what he said at the Board of Trustees meeting, that process is the process for financing that is already underway. So evidently there was some groundwork done before this move was finalized. There's the $80 million capital improvement campaign for athletics is going to be rolled out this summer, and that's going to cover scholarships and salaries and some training facilities and new band complex. So that's a separate issue. So evidently they have already, from everything I've read and heard and people I've talked to, a lot of this stuff was already in motion when once they got the invitation back last November.
So Will, so hearing that methodology, does that sound like, you know, T's are getting crossed and I's are getting dotted?
I think so. Think so. And you know, like Craig was saying, you know, it appears that, you know, there's some planning that has already taken place.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a matter of implementing it and, you know, getting it out there and getting it moving as quickly as possible. Yeah. You know, I would like to say that you know, debt service is going to be the key.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, and you know, the question becomes, how much debt service do you want to take on? That's number one. Number two, I think I was reading somewhere that 977 alums contributed slightly over $1 million to the AAF last year.
Okay. That's correct.
Yeah. And, you know, we all know we got about 70,000 alums, you know, so if we can get $1 million out of 1,000 alums. You know, somehow we got to try to increase that particular number. And I don't know, you know, how you go about that exactly. I mean, winning helps. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. And I'm sure that, you know, since we have been doing a lot of winning, the numbers in terms of donations have increased tremendously, that sort of thing. My thing is that, you know, if you go into the CAA and you don't do well right away, okay, how does that affect you from the given point of view? You know, because, you know, the numbers were relatively high, I think, because we were winning.
Celebration bowls and stuff like that.
You know, right. And if we go into this new conference and we don't do as well as everybody would like for us to do right away, does that number take a downward trend? Or do people rally behind us and say, you know, look, we got to do this. You know, we're going to get to where we need to go, that sort of thing. Will that charge the masses in terms of turning it up a notch so that we can reach those goals?
That's food for thought. Let me ask you this though, before, you know, I know you're a busy guy, but okay, so you guys have done some facility upgrades at Fort Valley State, right?
Mm-hmm.
So give us an idea, like if we want to start from scratch, because you guys actually put in a turf field in your football stadium, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So as much as you can tell, you know, behind, you know, inside baseball stuff, how does that work as far as like getting the plan approved and actually get it in the ground you plan on it? How long is that process?
You know, because the, you know, state of Georgia, you know, Fort Valley State is a state of Georgia institution.
Right.
So, you know, you got to jump through those hoops and hurdles that you have to go through in terms of the state. There was and I don't know, it may still be out there, a project called the Honey Bear Project. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not.
I have, yes.
Willie Lanier had come up with this plan. He wanted every HBCU to have a turf field. So that was the driving force behind us thinking, hey, let's see if we can do this. We were going to get involved with the Honey Bear Project.
Okay.
Virginia Union had already gotten involved with it, and a couple other schools had already gotten involved with it. So we started doing our homework in terms of getting involved with the Honey Bear Project. So part of that was having, you know, folk come in and do your measurements and give you costs and all that sort of thing. So by the time we decided that we were going to go ahead and get the field done, the kickback with the Honey Bear Project was that Honey Bear ain't have no money.
Oh no!
So what the Honey Bear Project entailed was that you find the money on your campus. They'll help you try to find the money on your campus somewhere, okay? But they will back you in terms of financing your particular project, okay? And what they would do is, over the life of the term of the finance, they would ultimately give you your money back minus the fee that the contractors come in order to look at what it's going to take to level your field, get rid of your dirt, all that sort of thing and stuff. Yeah. So because Honey Bear didn't have any money, you know, and we were like, bottom line at the end of the day, if you get everything done and you've paid for it from your campus funds, okay, there was no guarantee that you were going to get your money back from Honey Bear. Okay, and bottom line being, if the Honey Bear project didn't go through, even though you were financing, you as an institution was responsible for paying all that money. So our president said, well, Honey Bear is not making a whole lot of sense.
No, they not from what you described. Yeah.
You know, we need to see if we can do it ourselves. And so, you know, with CARES money and, you know, all that sort of thing and stuff, he found a way to get it done. And so we were able to get that done. The thing about it was that because there was so much activity and the state of Georgia wants you to utilize those vendors that have done work with state of Georgia institutions, we couldn't get started on the project until almost close to the last week of July. And, you know, we had a home game on September the 4th.
Wow.
So cutting it really close in terms of getting it done to the point where we had to wind up moving our first home game to one of the high schools in the county because we didn't want them to rush trying to finish getting the field done and not do everything like it needed to be done.
How long is that normally? Is that a normal installation?
Normally about 8 weeks.
So if we had the money, we could get a new field turf at
you can get it in 2 months with no problem.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
2 months.
You hear that, Craig? So if they try to slow roll us, we done heard from somebody from the inside.
2 months with no problem. 2 months with no problem.
Is there any? I don't want to be rude here. I don't want to be rude. But is there any way you could give us a ballpark on what we're looking at as far as like the price tag or something like that?
Anywhere between 1.2 and 1.5.
Craig got that. Oh,
yeah.
401k, Craig.
Yeah.
I'm a natural grass guy. I mean, I'm a natural grass guy.
And now they pretty much guaranteed the lifespan is like between 12 and 15 years. They tell you.
Gotcha.
You know, if you're financing it, a lot of times they'll finance you for between 8 and 9 years, so you can get it spread out over that time frame. You know, you don't have to come in and put all the money on the table, you know, right away, that sort of thing. So, I mean, that process, that was the easiest part of it, as it was.
And I've seen pictures of your field, and
they did a great job. Oh, they did a great job. They really did a great job.
Will, it's beautiful. I mean,
yeah,
it looks good. You got the colors and everything. The end zone's all painted. I mean, it's top notch.
And I mean, our contractor, you know, the way I look at it, I think he was trying to cut costs because when it came to tearing up our field, I never saw any more than about 3 people working.
Oh, so
you know, maybe 3, maybe 4 tops.
And those are his cousins, so you know.
Yeah. And then when it came time to put the field down, you know, there were a few more folks, but shucks. Other than that, he never had any more than 7 or 8 people out there working at any one time.
All right. So basically what you're telling us is there's no magic pill for this fundraising and investment stuff. You're gonna have to find it by conventional means. You're gonna have to
I think that's gonna be the real key.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be the real key. And like I said, you know, it's gonna be imperative that we see some success right away.
Yeah.
I think, you know, in order to keep the emotions running high, you know, so that people will want to dig deep and you know, and commit to doing some things. And like I said, the businesses that you want to sponsor you, that sort of thing, you know, they want to get behind the winner. So they got to be able to see that there are going to be people in the stands and, you know, so forth and so on, because that's going to spur them to want to dig deeper in terms of, you know, sponsoring whatever it is that you got going on.
All right. So Will, I've been super. I mean, you've been super patient with your time, and I'm so thankful. And I want to let you go. I know you got family and everything like that. I just want to tell you that it means the world to me to see you again, smiling, laughing. We're gonna have to do something on the website where we do like a little segment like Ask Will, because you got so much candor. Yeah, you tell us the real deal. You don't beat around the bush and filibuster. You just say this is it. This is how it works. And you don't care. You don't care. You're just gonna tell us the straight truth, and that's so rare. And I mean, that's why we love you, man. I tell you. But so you're at Fort Valley State right now, and we can still see you on the board, right? You'll still be on Blue Death.
Oh yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, one of the first things I do when I go in the office in the morning, is check out to see, who's talking about what, that sort of thing. And, so it's still never a dull moment. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, the board has grown tremendously over the past, has it been 20 years now?
You see that guy in the middle panel right here, Craig, with his articles and his inside reports.
Yeah.
And I'm riding his coattails, man. He's like, he's the man.
I'm an old rat, man, old rat.
But it's been great, and Craig, I still have some of your articles from the A&T Register.
Oh yeah. We were in school at the same time. Yeah, we graduated at the same time.
But it's been good. It's been a good ride, and hell, I'll be 66 in May. So
I said 36. Come on now.
Yeah, I wish 36.
They mount up quick.
Look, hey Will, so tell me, what am I doing wrong? I got this. I'm looking like Cisco with this platinum blonde hair right here.
Well, see, ours is all down here.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
This left a long time ago.
No, hey, Will, I was gonna dye my hair, but then I got scared because I'm like, either you either have gray hair or you go bald. You can't have both. So you gotta choose. I was like, man, I got a nice little hairline, but
you made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Yeah, really.
I don't want to.
You made the right.
Look, you can't risk it with nature, man. You can't get too
greedy. You made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right. So Will, we're gonna let you go, man. But thank you so much. You kind of shed a real light on what the challenges are, because everybody here is either doom and gloom or they're just like, oh, it's gonna be easy street. But you kind of gave us some real information to chew on. That this is not going to, we got some work to do as a fan base.
Well, and I'll close with this, Samaj. The goal to me, and it's just my feeling from being an athletic administrator, the goal is to finish in the upper third in every sport in your conference.
Right.
And if you're finishing in the upper third on a yearly basis, taking advantage of any windows of opportunities to win championships, because you know 9 times out of 10, it's going to be difficult to be right there in that number one spot each and every year.
Yeah.
But if you're in that 1, 2, 3 slot, and what I used to tell coaches is that there should not be a championship discussed in any sport, and we're not in the discussion. And as long as we are in the discussion, we're finishing in the upper third, number one, you're going to win the all sports trophy damn near on a yearly basis. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But then number two, if you're taking advantage of the windows of opportunities to win championships, you got that special team, for 2 or 3 years in a row where nothing can go bad for you, that sort of thing. And, all the stars are aligned in a row and, you got it going on coaching wise, that sort of thing. Then it shouldn't be an issue at all. And then the second thing I like to tell the coaches is this: your coaching ability should be worth 2 slots.
Right.
So if the preseason posters pick you to come in 5th, your coaching ability should get us in the 3rd.
Just on the strength of you being.
And if your coaching ability is not worth 2 slots,
we don't need you.
Then we got to have a discussion. I might have the wrong coach. Hey, Dougie. Hey, Doug.
My guy. Oh, God. And I had to jump on here to see my guy, Mr. Brown.
How you doing, Doug? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. My apologies, guys. Had some hang-ups, but it's good to see you, Mr. Brown. Good to see you.
I'll be following you, Doug, man. You're doing great work out there, man.
Man, I'm trying to learn from the best.
Always one of my favorites, man. No doubt.
Hey, Will, when next time you gonna be in Greensboro, man? Because I gotta take you out to dinner or something, man.
It's probably going to be late April, early May.
All right, so you got my number, man.
Yeah.
We'll do a double date or something, because
definitely, no doubt.
Yeah, because you met my wife before, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So we all get together, man, and
yeah.
Hey, maybe all four of us. Fantastic Four, man.
And, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
And Craig's gonna pay because he's still.
Craig piece of the check.
No,
I'll get the check. I'll take the check. God, boy, y'all deaf on the brother.
All right, Will.
All right, guys.
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care.
Later, man.
All right,
Doug. Take care, man. Get a family, my God.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's Willow Brown, big Willow Brown. Hey, I told you it's gonna be an after party here. We got all the favorites from Aggie Nation, and we got one more guy we're gonna bring in here too. So, Doug, before you even get settled in, I want to introduce our last guest of the evening. Actually, we got two more guests. This another guy just popped up. He wants to talk about something really important. But first, we got to bring in. We talk about this program and this tradition of winning that we established, in recent years. And one of the guys who had an integral role in doing that is here tonight. He was a running back at A&T. He helped us win Celebration Bowls. He was just a guy who kind of set the tone for the offense because he was a running back, but there was sometimes where he wasn't super interested in running away from people. He kind of liked to run through them, like through their chest, right? And so help me bring in my main man, Marquell Cartwright, to the building. High Point's finest. Cartwright, what's up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
Can you hear me?
What's up?
Can you hear us all right?
I hear you good.
Hey, you got your own little poster in the background. Is that you?
Oh yeah, that's me right there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I need that. Well, is that like a Fairhead poster or something?
Yeah.
Man, now, you know what? Everybody say I got an ego, but you got your own little fat head in the background.
Hey, man, you got to splice it up, man. Got the Aggie right here, man. Aggie Nation.
That's how you're supposed to do, man. That's how you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Hey, well, first of all, man, thank you for joining us. I've been trying to get you on there for a couple of weeks, man. It's always, I know you're super busy. You got a family now. You got, your own little operation. We talk about all that kind of stuff, but we want to get you on the show tonight because I want to get your perspective as a former player about what's happened at A&T in this athletic department. Since you left, last time we saw you were winning this, was it 2018?
Yep, 2018.
2018 Celebration Bowl.
Yes, sir.
You and your partner, Lamar Renard, he was out there. And so you guys went off to the sunset as champions. And the next thing you know, the school, first of all, we had COVID-19, the pandemic.
Yeah.
That kind of threw us off. And then the next thing you know, we are going from the MEAC, which that's the only thing you knew your whole career, to the Big South. And now we're leaving the Big South going to Colonial. So what are your thoughts on all this commotion and movement going on?
Man, when I first heard the news, I mean, it was heartbreaking because, all we know is MEAC, Bethune-Cookman, man, Savannah had left, but, Bethune-Cookman, man, North Carolina Central, all the Norfolk State, it's just a tradition that the conference already had and it's been set in stone, and that's all I knew. And it just when that happened, I was like, oh man, I didn't know what to expect. I can only imagine what the players felt when they was, there having another year or whatever. But I think it could be a good thing or a bad thing, and obviously it could be still a good thing or a bad thing, just depending on how we perform in each conference.
Okay, what are you most optimistic about? Like when you say a good thing, what's something that could happen to this, especially the football? Let's take it from the football program's perspective. What can happen with this football program by moving to, I guess it's almost like the SEC of FCS, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so just more competition. I feel like, just more exposure. I hate to say more exposure from us leaving the conference we're at, but still, more exposure from other teams, I guess, just being able to compete and be able to be seen around the world. We already got a name for ourselves, and now being able to compete against these other schools should be able to shut them up about, y'all just playing the MEAC or, whatever. But Other than that, just depending on how we perform, for real.
Do you think like the players? I know you've talked to a lot of guys. So you think that if you could take a straw poll right now, you think the majority of players are for this move or against, or what would you say right now?
Well, I know I haven't talked to him since this second move news, but the first move, that was for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's show everybody what we about.
Right?
We could play anybody. When I was there, we always say we felt like we could play with Bama. Any SEC school.
Yeah.
So pretty much they just want to perform and be the best athlete that they can be and be able to be seen all across the board.
Gotcha. So Doug, tell me something about this guy, man. You seen him from I guess when he was in high school, right? You've been watching him
when he was in high school. Had a chance to watch this young man kind of grow and blossom into just a hell of a running back. Followed him at Andrews High School. Of course, I'm a Ragsdale Tiger, so I'm right down the street. But had a chance to be coached by Derek Anderson when I was in high school. So there's some ties there with Andrews High School. But enjoyed watching you play in Simeon Stadium, man. You and Raynard definitely had some chemistry, and we're excited to get you guys as a tandem to come over to Aggie Land. And even when you got here, man, you guys blew the expectations way out of the water. When we look back and think about your contribution, man, to me, you're one of those guys who really show what Aggie football is about. And of course, RBU. Mo Smith's gonna be mad if I don't shout you out with RBU and
yes, sir.
Little deal or whatnot. I'm wide receiver you all day, jump ball you. But man, one thing I can say that's special about you, man, you were kind of that linchpin guy in between Tariq, and I feel like that you showed Jermaine kind of what was it about to be, to be a running back here at A&T, man. And when you got your opportunity, number one, I describe you as the ultimate teammate. I mean, when I look at guys, first off, when they come on here, I look at, how would it have been if I played with him? How would I have looked at that guy? And I consider you one of those guys that would have been an ultimate teammate, man. You remind me of one of my good friends, Justin Carter, man. It's his birthday today. Shout out Jay Carter, got at Virginia Beach. But just the ultimate teammate, man. Always got a smile on your face. Always willing to put in the work. Led by example. Put the team on your shoulders. I mean, let's not forget how much expectations and pressure you had on you. Taking over for Tariq, right?
Speak on that though. Speak on because I mean that's you talking about taking the torch.
Come on.
From maybe the greatest football player in the school history.
Yes, sir.
And didn't just hold it. Hold it. Took it and ran with it, man.
You ran with it.
Level.
What was that like?
Thank you.
What was that like, Cartwright?
Oh man, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I could just remember him, in his drafts and all that good stuff going on. We had the draft party for him, and then it just clicked right then before then. Like, oh yeah, it's just time to start. Like, I cannot sit here and take this starting position and let Aggie Land down or let my team down. So I gotta, keep up the spark, because what Coach Gibb always said was it starts from the running back position for the offense. We set the tone. You go out there, you clap some pads or something, and get the whole team hype. That can determine the way of which way the game will go. So I just always try to be the spark plug, just like Tariq. Tariq was always the spark plug of the offense, and I tried to keep it going, and it worked, man. So.
Well, I mean, you did it all for one. Let's not sell you short. I think guys underestimate, number one, your speed. We know how physical you were.
Oh yeah.
But ain't too many times that somebody may have caught you from nipped your shoestring, but ain't too many times. Yeah. Anybody, what was it, East Carolina? They might have got your shoestring.
Yeah, East Carolina.
But, other than that, man, nobody caught you from behind.
Yeah,
man. You run through them, run around them.
Yeah, I was actually hurt. I got hurt. Matter of fact, I ain't even tell nobody. Don't nobody know. I had a big old knot on my leg, and I couldn't even run as fast as if I walked.
Sound like Mo Smith.
I was limping. You know what I'm saying? If I walk, I was limping. But if I ran, I was fine. And I was looking at Coach Walter on the sideline by halftime. I was like, I don't know if I can get in, Coach. The strength and conditioning coach. Yeah. He said, hey, you got to get in this game. This is a big game right here. So I got in, and I did what I could, and that might have been one of the reasons why I got that shoestring. That would have been a touchdown, though.
Hey, what's up with you High Point guys? You and Lamar do not want to tell anybody you're hurt. Y'all be having this, every ailment known to man.
High Point
and y'all just smile. And y'all let dumb people like the fans, like Blue Death Valley. He's terrible. Y'all don't say nothing.
Man, we was like, look, it's just a fear. I don't want to sit out. I want to play. I want to. If I'm hurt, if I can play, and I'm hurting, then I'm gonna play. But if I'm literally injured and I can't do nothing, then I'll just sit out. But if I can still go, I'm giving it my all, man. I put it on the line.
True winner, man. True winner mentality.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of you, man. I want you to know how proud of we are, man. I follow you on social media, and I've had a chance to see your family grow and just see how much pride you talk in, how much pride you take in being around your family and being a family man and that hard work. I see that hard work transition right over from the football field into, your everyday life, man. It's inspiring, man. It inspires me to get up off my tail sometimes and like, man, Cartwright's still out here getting it in, man.
I'm getting it.
Every day, man, having a good time, man. So, I'm with that, man. We definitely appreciate, all the contributions you brought to the program, and we can still see the mark you made and the mark you left on those guys today, man. There's no doubt about it. When you come around, they still light up like you're part of the team, man. That's how you know you had an impact, man. When the coaches and the players are still happy to see you coming.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You know what, Cartwright? It's really good that we got you on this show tonight because everybody's saying we're gonna be stepping up in competition, going to the Colonial Athletic Association. But you guys, you didn't play a bunch of scrubs in your last couple of years anyway.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, y'all played Jacksonville State in Alabama. They were like the number 4 or 5 team in the country. Beat them, right? Y'all went to Charlotte, FBS Charlotte.
Yeah, whooped them.
Y'all went to East Carolina. You had to wait overnight. They gave y'all a hotel room and boom, BFE.
They tried to make us forfeit the game, man, and send us back home.
Oh no. Okay, I got you here. I'm glad I got you. Okay, so explain to everybody the whole significance about "Bring Me My Money." What was he referring to when he said "Bring Me My Money"?
Okay, all right. So as y'all know, the game was the first game. What was it? Was the first game for ECU or a home game for ECU?
Yeah, it was a home game. It was a home game.
It was their first game of the season. Our second game of the season.
Our second game of the season. So we, everybody hyped up. That was one of the biggest games I ever was going to play. I mean, like just looking around at the atmosphere.
Yeah.
They hyped up. We hyped up. We want to prove a point. They want to prove a point. Because they wasn't doing so good in their conference. We dominate in our conference.
Right.
They had the weather. It kept getting delayed. Thunderstorm, lightning. It kept getting delayed. We waited for like 2 hours. Then waited another 2 hours or hour and a half. And that's when we all in the locker room, we just so anxious. And they come and say, we're just going to forfeit the game. Y'all lose and we just don't give y'all the money, or whatever, because I think, when we play different conferences, we get the money. It's a money game for us.
Yes. Yeah.
For them and us, I believe. So they said they wasn't gonna give us nothing. We go home, whatever. And we like, what? We ain't come all this way, and prepare all this to not be able to show what we can do. And we want to show what we can do as a team. The whole A&T coaches, players, all of that, even the fans, because we got some diehard fans.
I was down there, and it was a lightning delay, so we was out there for like 4 hours.
Yeah, and the fans were still there.
Yeah.
So they sent us to a hotel. We had I forgot where it was. It was far. It was about an hour and 35 minutes away.
The team had to go back to Raleigh, if I'm not
mistaken. Yeah. So they got to, we were like, oh, they get to chill at their campus, relax. We on the bus, cramped up, anxious, got to go to the hotel. Then we didn't have enough rooms or something like that, and we had to do three teammates to a room for certain amount of room. So we kind of already amped up. So, the next day we come back, we ready to play, we win, and we put all our hearts, like everybody put their hearts out. I know Matt McCain, me, y'all saw that interception all the way back, and
me too.
catches, and Zach Leslie made, and the E-Bells, and then the runs I made.
Yeah.
We was just out there doing what we do, and when we, the game was over, we like, all that junk I was talking, Coach Washington was like, bring me my money. And it's crazy how it went viral like that and became memes and all that. Like, I would have never thought, man. I swear.
Everybody now, if you about to get paid, are you expecting some paper coming your way? You find that meme.
Yeah.
I mean that's iconic now, man.
Of course.
Coach Washington might, they got that whole thing called the NFTs or whatever. I don't know what that stands for. But he might be in line for some money because
it's like online digital pictures and stuff
that's gonna be an NFT that's gonna be worth a lot because
sir.
I mean, I don't care where you are, football, HBCU culture, whatever. You recognize that meme.
Yeah.
You see that, you already know. So
they know what it is.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, hey, Cartwright, I know you got a lot of stuff to do. So tell us what you're doing. You in High Point?
Yes, sir.
And you got your own little business, right?
Yeah. I got a property improvement business.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you go around, you just do kind of like whatever needed to
whatever. I do pressure washing, painting, remodeling. I'm trying to get into building decks this summer and stuff like that.
Okay.
But anything that can improve a property or a home, I'm trying to take on that contract or that project.
Man, you talking about. We gonna send you some business. I guarantee you that.
Most definitely.
Because I got a house that needs a lot of improvement. I promise you.
Oh, hey, y'all need anything done? Let me know.
That pressure washing for real.
We know you get it done, man.
We're gonna talk offline. So how do we catch up with you? Because I saw you was on Twitter and you said you forgot your Twitter password. And you finally got it back. So you finally back on social media. So how can people get in contact with you and hire you for some of these services?
Twitter, Facebook. Facebook is my main source.
Okay.
I got my business page on Facebook. It's called Amazing Property Improvement LLC. Right. And if you look it up on there, you should be able to see it.
Okay, and we'll put the link into the description after this video.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's it called? Amazing Property Improvement.
Yes, sir.
And they come and you figure it out. Whatever they need, you're gonna get it done for them.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Man.
All right, they making it happen, ain't Doug? Yeah. These High Point guys, man.
I'm telling you, that's it. And Cartwright, I want you to know, man. A lot of guys say, "Man, if I just had a chance, if I just give me one chance to carry that rock in the league." You one of those guys, man, that if they had a chance, just one chance.
Oh, yeah.
You got that kind of ability, man. And I want you to know that, bro. For real.
There's
a lot of guys that say that. It ain't a lot of guys who really got that ability that if they had a chance, man, you got caught up in that COVID wash and this that bad timing, man. But hey, don't ever question what God has for you, man. And just know that that's what's out there for you is gonna be out there, man. You just keep grinding like you do, bro.
Most definitely. Thank you, Coach.
All right, so listen, Marquell. Now we got you. I got you in my phone. So we're gonna bring you back during the season.
Okay.
I know you understand the game.
Yeah,
you can break down plays and we gonna put something together. So we gonna put you to work, man. We gonna trust me.
Just give me a ring, man. Just give me a ring.
Yeah, all right. Appreciate you coming out here, man, and best luck to you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all, man. Good seeing y'all.
All right. No doubt, Yes, sir. Man, so this after party is revving up, man. So far we had reporter extraordinaire, A&T legendary beat writer Jeff Mills. He started off right. He gave us a whole bunch of insight on what this move to the Colonial Athletic Association is going to entail. Then we had our native son, Big Willa Brown.
Big Will.
And he broke things down that only a person who's been in athletics and been in high administration for so many years. He has a perspective that we can only assume, guess about. He's lived it. He's done it. He gave us some great tidbits. And then we got a former player gave us his take on this move to the CAA and how the players might be feeling about it. So, Doug, I know you had a lot of stuff going on. Did you get a chance to watch the town hall today?
I didn't, man.
Really?
I have not. What did I miss?
Craig, give us a quick summary because we got one more guest we're gonna bring in here tonight. But Craig, let's give everybody if you didn't catch the town hall event today, and Earl Hilton was kind of running point on that. Craig, give us the highlights of it.
Yeah, basically, it was a repeat of the presentation that made to the board of trustees last week. Explaining the differences about the changes in the NCAA that are going to be coming down, and the revenue sharing battle that's going on between Power 5 and the rest of the Division I programs. Talked about the history of realignment, he explained the differences between the CAA and the Big South, and did a comparison of the budgets and all the both from an academic standpoint and from a budgetary standpoint and a competition standpoint. He went through all three phases of it, and why the recommendation was given to the board of trustees and to the chancellor to go ahead and make the move to the CAA. There were some questions about lost identity, of how effective it's going to be, how much it's going to cost, and this sort of thing. So it was basically a rehash of what we've already heard. But it became quite obvious, at least to me anyway, early on back during the board of trustees meeting, that this was driven more by academics than it was by competition. Right. And being what the university's goals are to be an R1 and to be in a peer group of R1s and R2s, that was really the determining factor for making the move to the CAA. Has less to do with competition. The gap in between budgets will have to be closed, but in reality, it's not as big as it appears to be on paper because there's a lot of variables in that.
Okay.
The actual difference between what we have to add to it is not going to be $9 or $10 million. We're going to have to get it. It's about a $4 million gap in actuality. Okay. When you crunch the numbers, when you really sit down and crunch the numbers, you look at scholarships and salaries. The salary figures that were on that chart were a little bit skewed because A&T is sponsoring 17 sports. These CAA teams are doing 19 or more.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but we have to look at is what the staffing is within the sports in which we compete in, and that gap is not that great. It's greater on the basketball side of the men's basketball or the men's basketball side than it is on the football side or in the women's sports. We're compatible with them. We're also compatible with them in scholarship. The biggest difference between us and them is facilities, and that's where we're going to have to spend our money.
Well, there is a gap, and you say, if it's 10, if it's 4, there's still
it's still about $4 million, but $4 million difference.
And I would say that's a significant amount that somehow I think that
it's doable.
A&T alumni and the A&T fan base is going to have to step up and kind of do something about that. We can't just allow Chancellor Martin and Earl Hilton just to work the phones and call $1 million donors and say 5 people give us all the money. I think the rank and file, regular Joes like me, all 3 of us, we're gonna have to roll up our sleeves and pitch in. And our last guest tonight that we want to bring in, he's an expert when it comes to fundraising. He is a member of the AAF. What does that stand for, Craig? What's AAF?
The Aggie Athletic Foundation.
He's a member of the Aggie Athletic Foundation, and he's kind of, I would say, one of the most annoying people on BlueDeathValley.com. Is that fair?
I don't know if it's fair. But
he always seems to kind of rub me the wrong way. So I don't know about you guys, but he's always saying something. I respect him because he's knowledgeable, right? He knows his stuff. He's on our board every day. I won't tell him his username because he might want to stay secret. But he is a member of the BlueDeathValley.com fan forum.
Go ahead, Outie.
I ain't gonna do it. I'll let him do it if he wants to do it. But let me bring on Stephen Harrington. What's going on, Steve?
What's going on, gents?
Oh,
what's
man.
Hey, and for the record, fam, it's not me, it's him. Let's go ahead and get out that out the way right now.
My brother Steve, what's going on, man? Hey, so listen,
man,
listen. Thank you for being patient. I know you were kind of waiting in the green room for a while, but you came on here tonight. This is the after party to the big town hall meeting, and at that meeting, like Craig was saying, they talked a lot a lot about different things. One of those things was the budget has to be increased. We got to get more infrastructure, more investments into our athletic department, and that's going to come from different places. One of the places is the donors, right? The fans of A&T. We gotta, are we just going to be making lip service, or are we going to actually, put some money behind our pride? So you tell us. There's some interesting things happening in the AAF, and you came here tonight to inform us about that. So the floor is yours, brother.
Yes. And again, appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time. So we'll say it's a challenging time. I had a conversation with a coach recently, though, and one thing that coach mentioned was we never grow when we're comfortable.
It's true.
You have to get into a state or a position where you are uncomfortable before you realize that you have to grow, that you have to make a move to do something different than what you were doing before. And so I think some of the concern, the consternation that someone's had is because we're feeling that uncomfort level. Maybe we had that comfort level when we were in the MEAC. I think you felt a little bit of that uncomfort level in this first year, or the 1 year for most of our sports now in the Big South. And we're seeing it again as we look to move into the CAA.
Right.
But that uncomfortability tends to drive change, and I think we're starting to see that now with the views towards donations, towards what we provide with AAF. So I think that's a great thing, honestly.
So what can you tell us about the AAF? Because I understand there might be a new program out there that you guys are ready to unveil to the public that will make donations a little bit more easier for the rank and file members.
Yes, indeed. And before we get started, Samaj may be getting ready to take a victory lap here. So
no. This is all you. This is your hour. Yeah, this is your hour, brother.
AAF has unveiled and is launching our version of the 1891 club level. Okay. The 1891 club level invites at an introductory level for donors to come in using our mobile cause app platform that we have through A&T to set up recurring donations at the denomination of $18.91 a month in honor of our founding year. For 12 months, you become part of our club. You get the basic set of AAF benefits, including priority purchase for the season tickets if you so choose. You'll get email access to all things AAF meetings, including some information that we get from that athletic administration. One of the cool things we came up with as a incentive gift is this nice 1891 club.
My man.
That's magnetic awesome. Decal. So this will go the 7x7. It'll go perfect on your car door. Anything metal at home, at work. So you can prominently display your Aggie pride and show that you are a donor to athletics with the AAF.
So you don't have to worry about nobody at home coming asking you, have you given back? You can just put this on your car, and when you ride around there,
on your car, put it on your tailgate.
They already know. They already know I'm legit. Yeah,
that's right.
And it's only that's the genius thing about it. I don't know who thought of this initially, right? I don't know where you got this. I don't know where.
Ladies and gentlemen, did I tell you
but Steve, what you and I both understood about this is, okay, you pay you sign up one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You paid $18.91, $18.91, and then you don't have to think about it, right? You go about your business. It's just like Netflix. You sign up to Netflix. You don't worry about it. Every month you turn on TV. Netflix is on there.
Hey,
somehow
there's someone who still pay $20 for a drink at a bar right now, man. So
yeah,
right.
Really.
And then, you look up, right? And at the end of the year, that $18.91, you've already donated $226.92.
Yep.
To the university. You ain't thought about it. It has not affected you in the least.
Yes.
And Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. And so to allow Samaj to continue to do his victory lap.
No.
There is I'm a former Air Force officer. Did 5 years in the Air Force, came through Campbell Hall here at A&T. As part of our warrior knowledge that we had at our field training way back in 1997, we learned a quote from General George C. Marshall. And that quote is, "There's no limit to the good things you can do if you don't care who gets the credit."
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Okay. And so, and I'm very proud to say that the idea, the concept for this 1891 club actually came from Blue Death Valley.
And we got to thank one person, Paul Gerald. Okay.
Yep.
So if I can take you a little bit back to it, the genesis of this idea came during a lunch break when Paul was in DC, and he was telling me about his kids doing soccer or gymnastics or something, and always anytime we have a conversation, it goes to A&T somehow in about 10 minutes. And so he was saying, "Hey, what if we did just, some way you could give back to A&T in the school year?" I said, that's brilliant. So make a long story short, we kind of tried to take this to Dowdy, and we did as much as we could. And then somebody more talented, more connected, somebody who could make it happen. We were like Moses. We took it to the promised land, but we couldn't enter the promised land. So I guess you're Aaron, right? You took it to
okay. Now you give me Joshua.
Joshua. Okay, Joshua. There you go. Okay, there you go. And so
there you go. Let's know Old Testament the Bible.
There you go. So Joshua took it to the promised land, and you set it off. And this is awesome. And I know the AAF is going to get so much support from BlueDeathValley.com. I'm gonna make sure of it. Everybody on the website. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but you're gonna have to sign up to this bad boy because it's so simple.
It is so easy, man. And that's the thing. We did test runs, before we did the launch, just to gauge people's understanding of the concept. And every time it came back, it's like, this is easy. This is a piece of cake.
Okay.
And that's the advantage. It's quick, it's easy, it's affordable. And with the decal logo, it allows us to show that we're part of something greater than ourselves, with something that's near and dear to our heart. In this case, our love for A&T athletics, and that's important, because sometimes we just think, we give, you do it for the love, absolutely, but you want to know that, from a human nature perspective, that hey, I am doing something more than just the norm,
Okay,
I am part of something bigger. That's important.
Let me ask this: how many people on a really good spring game? How many people are in the Aggie Stadium? Would you say about 3,000 people?
That's probably fair.
3?
Mm-hmm.
I like maybe less than that.
I was gonna go less.
Maybe, the under on that.
Okay, all right. Let's just say it was an incredible spring game. We had 3,500 people came to Aggie Stadium, right? And all of them, they saw one of your decals or they saw a banner or something, and 3,500 people right then and there went on the what's the name of the app? What's it called? The mobile cost. And they said, "I'm gonna sign up right now. I feel the spirit. I'm gonna sign up for the 1891 club," right? At that point, we guaranteed, because they're gonna stay with, and once you signed up, you forget about it, right? So at that point, we're gonna get $794,000 from 3,500 people joining the 1891 club in a year.
Yeah, it'd be
in 1 year. There's 35, and that's it. That's all you got. 3,500 people sign up for this. You got $794,000 extra coming in on top of the other fundraising we're doing.
Yeah.
And so, I came in on the back part of Wheeler's portion, and so he referenced some of the numbers that I ended up posting earlier today about the 977 donors out of the per alumni relations. We have 65,000 living alumni. So we're looking at right now basically a 2%, less than 2%.
Terrible
donor participation rate. But the challenge is that's part that we're at the top end in terms of HBCUs.
I don't care.
I
don't care. I
know
care. I want more.
But just putting it out there for people. When I did some homework early on, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and looking at donor participation rates at your typical PWI, at upper mid major and above, you're looking at probably on the low end 5%. participation rate. So, but aggregately, the residual income for PWIs would tend to be it's going to be a little bit higher. You're going to have more big dogs.
Right. That makes sense.
And we do have, so I mean, and we're finding that we do have a share of larger dog donors in Aggieland too. But
hey, Steve, have you seen who Doug golfs with? Have you seen Doug on the golf course?
I can imagine.
It ain't broke people. It ain't broke people.
Here you go, man.
So, but with that, when you don't have as many larger donors, then similar to what we just talked about, you have to go more to small ball. And I've had so many conversations along the way of folks, talking about the Clemson IPTE model, the old I pay 10 a year that started way back in 1934 for them, and how they grew that as their base until they started getting larger donors generated through graduation and business, and then built into the ACC powerhouse we know is Clemson today. So that's a process, but that's a base that you have to grow. And so for us, if we can take this, and to your point, if we got 4,400 new donors through the 1891 program, we're looking at an additional $1 million.
Listen,
so 4,400 out of 64,000.
That's all we need. That's all we
that's
need.
all you need just to generate new donors, just to generate $1 million.
Extra, and that doesn't mess with the other stuff that's going on in development. That doesn't mess with the high donors, the high dollar donors. Doesn't even mess with the other.
That can be just us at the introductory level.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's how powerful. That's the potential, and so that's what we look at. And the challenge is for those of us who are, active donors, to be salespeople. To not just depend on the administration to do that part. We know we have the knowledge. We talk sports. We have understanding of budgets. But we understand how important it is that our alumni are involved. So with the tools that we created, I created an ad for this. Obviously the mobile calls website. Also using our Greensboro AAF chapter website. I'm pretty sure Craig is still familiar with that. Yes, indeed. Yep. So, love that shirt, by the way. And
always.
So, it's on us to be salespeople. To those of us in our network who aren't donors, and by the numbers, there's 64,000 out of 65,000 loves who aren't. So, and it's okay. It's not necessarily to shame that group. That's not the intent of it. And please don't go out, with that mindset. There are reasons why people haven't given up to this point. One of them is the fact that it hasn't been easy. Sometimes it hasn't been affordable.
Yes.
And that's what this concept was really all about. And I remember looking at the notes that you gave me, Samaj, and that was the one thing we talked about, having the logo, but also the technology being the biggest limiting factor.
And like I say,
easy. It was very clunky.
And so I got to give you props, man, because I'm kind of like a scatterbrain. I have all these ideas, but I don't have the
had to kind of funnel and focus everything you brought in.
I don't have the focus to actually bring it to across the finish line, because
I can't take all the credit either. Have a great development, marketing, fundraising committee within our AF board who really helped along the way. And so
so take 10 seconds. Give me some names. Give some props to some people who helped you out.
Oh, props. Donna Ford, Frank McCain, Terrence Williams, Shandette Harper is with us on that. Special shout out to Ms. Shamika Python, Executive Director of AAF. Hope Rush. Great leadership. Great vision. And really everybody on our board. There's a lot of great synergy behind the scenes, great experience, and all of us care deeply about A&T and about athletics. We're trying to win, and that's number thing. And so that same passion that we're trying to, that our student athletes bring to the field, to the court, we're trying to bring behind them in the support thing. So we got the 1.3 million this year, in 2021 in COVID. Obviously some bigger donors. You guys remember the Marcus Johnson $300,000 that came in at the end of the year
for the track.
Yes. Those types of things help get you to that higher number. But just imagine if we can get that extra 4,000 1891 donors.
Okay, so somebody had an idea. I think there needs to be a tracking mechanism that shows the money progress towards major projects. A good way to help people see where their investment dollars are going. Just a thought. Garvis Joyner. Thank you, Garvis. That's a good idea.
Hope all is well, man. I talked with Garvis before. I think that communication is definitely an area of opportunity when it comes to fundraising. So, and I think as we begin to really define exactly what that capital campaign looks like, you have a better opportunity to do that and to create the tracking, especially once you start getting towards specific items. So it's tough to sometimes to track a general fundraising tasker. If you're focusing in on a specific smaller item, it tends to be easier. But it's a great point. We want to see what we're giving to more so than just giving to some maybe this general fund. I totally understand that.
And this is just 1.0. So I mean, this thing is going to expand and you're going to grow. We're going to every time there's a good idea, throw it to Steve, and Steve is pragmatic, man. He's not one of those guys. The Dowdy crew. He's not one of those guys that just say no anytime you walk in there. Craig,
trust me, there are times that I will and have had to say no. Don't get me wrong.
But you listen first.
That's true.
But I'm a realist and I am an opportunist in that if it's something that I think is feasible, then let's put the work behind it to think it through and see if we can take a shot at it. And that's what this is. So
that's awesome, man. And like I say, all jokes aside, man, like all the work you guys have done and first of all, you took the idea seriously. A lot of people just they told us to kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dooms actually had a meeting with the Dowdy crew, and you know how that went. But you saw the value in it, and you said, let me actually put some serious grown folks, elbow grease to this thing and make it and shape it out of a crazy vision to something that's tangible that can actually work. And then you did the political stuff. I know a lot of people probably told initially, and you said, well, think about this like this. How about this angle? So I know there's a lot that went behind the scenes. It wasn't just here's 1891 Club, let's run with it. You had to do a lot.
This has literally been a year in the making.
Damn, there you go.
So people like, it's maybe look like it's an opportunity that it came out right now with everything going on.
Yeah.
But no, this literally was a year in the making in terms of us working through this.
And so on a personal note, you are in the process of finishing your MBA. Is that correct? Can I say that?
Yes. So I have 2 classes left to go. Matter of fact, I have an exam that I was supposed to be working on today. But due to everything going on with AAF and athletics, I'm still working on it, but it's due tomorrow. So I will jump off in a little while and get back to work on it. But yes.
But I'm telling people, you got to be a Fortune 500 CEO. I'm telling you, your organization skills are impeccable. Because, like I say, this is going to take off. I know it. It's going to be the biggest thing that hit.
We've already in just the soft rollout today. We've already generated $1,000.
What? Say it again. Please say it again.
We've already generated $1,000 today.
And no one knew about it except for like BlueLeftValley.com and Twitter and
Facebook. So we haven't done our communication through my relations yet. We really hadn't rolled out on Blue Left Valley yet. So
no, I know. I'm waiting for you. I've been sitting on this. Hey, Doug, I've been sitting on this like 4 months. I've been like, you ready? He's like, not yet. You ready? You're not yet. So I've been kind of being quiet about it. I hate to be quiet about stuff, but no, Steve, for real. I owe you like a drink or something. Next time we out, I'm picking up the bill and I have to borrow some money from Craig to do that. But, man, big money, Craig.
No, here comes a touch.
Okay, so
always a touch.
So look here, Steve. Before we let you go, so give us the marching orders. What do we need to do right now if we listen to this and we feel inspired, and especially all my my Sunshine gang who think this move to the Colonial Athletic Conference. I was talking to you, Aggie 2039. All you guys, A&T Roy, I'm talking to you. All you guys who are Mr. Optimistic. If you really want to support this move, you need to help out with this 1891 club. So what's the marching orders? What do they need to do? How can they sign up?
The easiest website to go to is to go to right now Greensboro AAF at WordPress.com.
Okay.
Click on the 1891 logo or the 1891 club link. It'll take you to everything that you need to see. If you want to use the text version, you can just you can text give to AAF3 to 71777 as well. So a couple of different.
So it's just on your phone. I got you. And then
you can do text to give, and it'll take you right to the link.
Page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
give to AAF3 to 71777. So we thought through all these things and said we need to make certain that we're dynamic and we can make this as accessible in addition to as easy as possible.
And even if you are a big time donor, right? Even if you have already, got set up with the AAF, this is something you can do on the side, man. Or you can do it for like your spouse or for your son or your kids.
Sure.
You can set up a 1891 club account for your teenagers to get them used to giving back to HBCUs. Anybody, you don't even have to be an HBCU graduate. If you're listening to this right now and you live in Greensboro or you've been around A&T and you want to support this move, follow the information that Steve just gave, and I'm gonna put all the links into the description at the end of this video. But click on that stuff. It's like you do it one time. I promise you don't have to think about it never again. And
set it and forget it, man.
It'll keep on rolling.
1891 a month, you probably won't feel a thing.
You will not feel it. I mean, you can't go to McDonald's for you and your girlfriend for $18.91, right? That's the way the world is, and this is going to make a major impact into our plans to be successful at this next move. All right.
Yeah. And some people may think, hey, the gap, the actual expenditure gap is 16 to 25. I think we spent 16 million over the past year, but you pick up $1 million from something like the 1891 club.
There you go.
You pick up a couple million more from larger donors. One of the biggest things is sponsorships, because a lot of people don't know this. AAF, Terry Tyler, amen, man. See?
Hey, you say took 1 minute to contribute. That's somebody who in real time went through that process. Super easy. So that's
like, man. Hey, you probably a little slow. Probably could have done 45 seconds.
No. Listen,
I'm just playing here.
We're gonna have an 1891 challenge, and we're gonna do like a little TikTok, and we're gonna see who can how fast does it take you to sign up for the 1891. That's gonna be a new.
Hey, we might have to do that, man.
That's gonna be a new TikTok.
One thing I was gonna mention is sponsorships, and sponsorships. It isn't really for athletics. Isn't tracked through AAF. That's tracked through advancement or athletics directly. But one of the things that, and it's kind of unofficial when it comes to sponsorships, that companies and corporations look at donor participation rates.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The reason they would look at it is, again, informal, unofficial, but they want to see how many people are spending their residual money on the university. Because from a business perspective, if I'm willing to spend my money residually on my university, I'm much more likely to spend my residual money on their product.
There you go, so NBA. There you go, NBA. There you go.
Get to it, and it can potentially have a multiplicative effect on what we get on the back end with the sponsorships, where the bigger dollars are. Okay, so to think that, hey, my 1891 donation doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. More than you realize.
Damn it. So now we're gonna have to bring you back. You're very annoying, Steve. Personally, I don't like you that much.
You know why you think I'm annoying? Because I'm right. And I
no,
able to call you out on the fact that's what it is. I get it. If I were you, I'd be annoyed at me too for that.
Guys, unfortunately, this clown, we gotta bring him back because he's saying some good stuff, man. This is good information. I hate to admit it. This is good information. All right, so we
good stuff, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, you're on top of it, man. You're on top of it. So you're finishing your MBA, you got 2 more classes. Then you're just about to take the world by its horns. You're about to just do some big things in business. But in the meantime, you're leading the charge on this 1891 club. I'm already joined up, but I might do it again. I got a 14-year-old son. He needs to learn how to, invest and spend, all the financial literacy and all that stuff. So I might have him sign up for it.
It's a great thing, and people and young people need to understand there is such a thing as reciprocity in giving.
Yeah, it is, man.
When you give voluntarily, more often than not, you're gonna get back. You're gonna get back more than what you gave, but you don't do it because of that purpose. And so I think that's
right.
Hey, but
because of the love, and you have love for someone else other than yourself.
Man, you're preaching.
Amen.
I don't know if you want to call it karma or whatever, but I know paying your tithes and all that kind of good stuff. I'm not gonna get too religious on this show. Doug might start doing gospel again if I do that. But
and another important piece is that, and the reason why I encourage us as passionate alumni to go out and be sellers and be recruiters. People tend to give more to people than they do to institutions.
Okay, so us, not maybe me. I'm kind of a polarizing figure, but like everybody loves Craig. So if Craig is out at the tailgate or at the basketball game, and Craig comes up to you and say, "Hey, I joined the 1891 club. Why don't you consider it?" Like you say, that's going to resonate, and he's going to be.
That resonates more than just the emo blast or
right.
A standard form of mass communication. The person to person, it really does matter, and so sometimes there's a fear amongst us that that's not something I'm good at, or that's not my cup of tea. Why not? And don't doubt yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell your own passion for your cause, whether it's anti-athletics or whatever it may be. Don't sell yourself short as being someone who can be an influence and make a difference.
All right. So Craig, how long have we done BlueDeathValley.com? How long has it been going on?
21 years.
How much have we been charging people for all that great, all your articles and exclusive reports and all the videos? How much have we been charging our visitors and our BDF members? What's the
zero,
right?
Zero.
Now? Okay, so listen here. If you have been on BlueDeathValley.com, you come on there every day, or you come every once in a while. If you appreciate some of our content, if you like what we're doing, then this is how you repay us. This is how you pay us for all the stuff we've been doing over years. You go to this link. I'll put it in the description after the video, and you sign up for the 1891 club. And hey, your debt is paid. All right, you done all you gotta do. That's all I ask for. If you want to look out for our website, join the 1891 club and do it today, and it'll be the best thing you've done in your life. I promise you.
Yeah. And make sure you keep joining the AAF 1891 club, because we know after this blows up that other people will do this.
Everybody's going to try to do it.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
I had a friend of mine. I ended up doing a trial run with a friend of mine who actually went to a PWI. He was like, "Man, this is awesome." I was like, "I might have to take this to my school."
It ain't got the same thing though, man.
It won't be. But other people, when they see some great thing, and he's an NBA graduate too, I was like, game recognized game. They know
it. Yeah. All right, Steve, we're gonna let you go. You've been super
man.
Generous. I can't say that word with your time. And we appreciate it, and we'll have you back on here soon. And we'll see. Right. We'll see you on the board tomorrow. You'll be saying something crazy to old school.
I got to work this exam.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, man. Much love, y'all.
All right.
All right. Take care, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Steve Harrington, most annoying guy on BlueDeathValley.com, but
that's my buddy.
He has some good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You, Mitzi, y'all like a little. Three amigos, you and Steve with the cowbells. Yeah. So you might not know him, but he actually was one of the fans who originated the cowbells and all the games. So that was y'all crew. Y'all did that.
Yeah.
You and Mitzi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, Steve and I worked on that for over a year. Yeah, because we had to go to China and get everything and import, export, and all that stuff. Yeah,
well, I still got mine, Craig.
You still got yours?
I still sneak it
I got
in
4 of them. Yeah.
You know what? We need to start doing it at the baseball games because that's like a little. I went to the baseball games this weekend, and there's like a actual fan base at War Memorial. I call it the War Council because you gotta be crazy to go to that stadium right now. It's in bad condition, but we got like a nice little collection of fans. They were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they'll probably be back this weekend if it doesn't rain. And we get them some cowbells. We might have a home field advantage over there at the War.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. But okay, so real quick, we're gonna be on here for a few more minutes because it's 10:20 and everybody's school night. So if you want to jump in there, and I mean, I guess that means our friend A&T Roy. If you want to jump in there, go to bluedeathvalley.com, go to the fan forum, and on the A&T football board, there's a Blue Death After Dark Thursday, February 24th thread. At the very bottom, it says join the convo, and there's a link. You can click on that. Oh, Bobo, where's Bobo at? He's supposed to come back this week. Yeah. And so Troy and Bobo, if y'all in the building, come and join us real quick before we log off. But guys, if you caught this show after the town hall, join us and let us know what you thought of the town hall, because I think a lot of good information got disseminated in that event. And once again, kudos to Earl Hilton for even having the cojones to stand in front of the Aggie Nation, stand and deliver with his chest out. And he was proud and confident and said, look, this is what we're doing. It makes sense. He spelled it out. I think he was pretty effective in his presentation. So see how folks feel about that. Craig, you feeling better now? You were always optimistic though. When you heard the news Thursday, you felt good about it, right?
Yeah, it took me a little bit by surprise, but I am optimistic. I think it's gonna bring some stability to our situation. Hopefully this is the last move we'll make before maybe by the end of the decade we might be able to we may be in a position to do the FBS thing. But yeah, you're right. With the realignment, you really can't tell what's going to happen from year to year. I'm really interested to see what's going to come down out of when the NCAA comes out in June with their recommendations, because I got a funny feeling that they're going to change a lot of requirements for Division I. And I think it's so some programs and some conferences are going to get left out in the cold.
So he's okay. That takes me to a good point. So Earl doing his presentation today, and especially last Thursday, and I put on the board there's like the doom and gloom part of his presentation. He mentioned the Power Fives, and like they are just doing this crazy greedy money grab. That's the best way to say it. And they are going to leave everybody else out on in the shadows. So what do you think that really means? How scary of a situation is that?
Before Craig goes,
go ahead, Doug.
This thought. I have been of this belief for years that eventually the Power Five and some of the bigger conferences are just going to squeeze out the NCAA and not even use them as a governing body. I know it sounds crazy, but you think about the money floating around in the SEC and the brand they're building. I mean, other than governing and laying down soft slaps and whoopings that they used to hand down for violating their rules, how much is the NCAA really serving some of those schools? I mean, I know they bring in a lot of money for basketball in the basketball tournament, but I mean, there are other basketball tournaments, and who's to say they couldn't create their own national basketball tournament? The NIT is a national basketball tournament.
Right.
All you need is the right teams in the tournament. So these people are finding out ways to generate their own revenue. They have TV contracts, and once you take care of the TV portion, you've got your own support and your own donors. I mean, you're pretty much controlling your own destiny. I mean, who wants a governing body like the NCAA to say what you can and can't do? Yeah. I believe some of these conferences would rather write their own rules, and I think the NCAA
that's what they're gonna do.
A tight spot. And I think that pretty soon college football may look like a minor league baseball system where you just have, college football and then another level of college football, which almost is like a minor league, and then the NFL, man. I just think that in some areas, the SEC and certain conferences or Power Fives, what you're talking about, are in the money grab, and they're getting so big, man. I mean, how you going to tell some of those conferences what to do to the point where they're affecting schools on our level? Like, it's such a domino effect every time the wind changes or the direction changes. And so, yeah, we are doing what's best for our university and our athletic department and to create some stability. But we know the winds change. And 5 years from now, the landscape may look different, and there may be another popular decision that we're forced to make. But I like the fact that we're putting ourselves in position, number one, to be attractive as a university where conferences want us, number one, and number two, that we're in position to make whatever decision we need to make, and it's not much of a bump in the road. So I've been on record saying that we are an FCS school, and we're one of the premier FCS schools, and that's how we're building our brand. It doesn't matter what conference we play in. We are A&T, and I think that's going to continue to shine through and kind of be brought to the forefront as the landscape continues to change. That we might not be affected by some of those decisions down the road when it's some other schools that really have to make some tough decisions. I mean, I like the fact that we're ahead of the game and we're not behind the ball. Yeah. So we'll see.
So Craig, you we got a guest. I'm going to bring you in, David. Hold tight.
Oh, we got we got to cut you off, Craig. I want to hit Craig's perspective. We got to hear what David talking about, huh?
Yeah. You want to bring David in now, Craig?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Right. That's fine.
Oh, you can still.
David, I can still say what I gotta say.
Yeah.
There he is.
All right, hey. So Dave, welcome to the party, man. The after party. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. Hopefully, guys can hear me.
Dave, I need that shirt, man. I've been saying I need that shirt. I love that shirt, man.
Oh God, man, where did I get it from? Home field got this shirt.
I gotta add.
They had some pretty dope. They had some retro A&T shirts too. I grabbed a couple.
Well, I think you're like the first guest we had who didn't have a smoke alarm thing going off in the background. So I appreciate that.
I take them off. I take them off, sir.
Okay, good deal. That's good. That's smart. Well, unless there's a fire in the house, you might want to.
You're screwed then, right?
Yeah, then you're
I'm overdue to put some new fire alarms in the house. I got to do it.
Gotcha. So you did you watch the town hall?
I did.
Did you think that Mr. Earl Hilton sold his point? Did he make his case?
I did, man. And the thing is, I know, and I'm an Aggie as well, right? So, when I was there, it was pretty much all MEAC all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But when I was there from 2000 to 2004, it's different than the kids that are there in 2022. Like, it's a different university.
How so?
It's larger, man. It's larger in scale. Yeah. We were always competitive in engineering, like in agriculture all the time. Yeah. But now we're competitive in other fields.
Is the culture different?
Think about that. No. Man, I was down there last week for when they opened up the new engineering building, and it looked like the same A&T to me. Just the buildings are nicer.
Okay.
They got much better facilities. I mean, I came from a Graham Hall when I was there, only had a classroom and a lab. So
right.
And now they got this big cyber range and everything else in this new engineering complex. Like the infrastructure is different, man. We're growing, and that's what you want. You want us to sustain. You want the HBCU to be here forever. I was a student when they shut down Morris Brown.
Yes.
I have a completely different perspective about it.
You know what? And see, that makes that's very sobering, right? Because I think all four of us, we want nothing more than for A&T to be successful, and we want, we have faith in Chancellor Martin, right? But personally, I still have some skepticism. How you say that word? It's late at night.
Skepticism.
That's it. So I'm still skeptical about that gap. And Craig, you say it's not that big. It's only 4 million or whatever. But man,
on the scholarship side, it's not. Like the way Earl like you said, man, earlier in the show, the way Earl explained it today, he did not explain it in those other meetings.
Nah,
the way he explained that, he convinced me with the scholarship thing. Like I was like, all right,
yeah,
we still got to upgrade the facilities. Got it.
But the
Scholarships, we're not that far off, and that's important because we can compete. We can compete then.
And we made a living saying, put the ball down, put the ball down or come to the track. We don't make a lot of excuses when it comes to our track program. We just go and compete, and we do it on a national stage. And not granted, we shouldn't have to compete with lesser. We're just saying we've been able to do that in the past. And I think with some support, we can continue to grow. But look what we've done with I won't say nothing, but with very little at times, right?
Yeah.
And you spoke to the lab and the classroom that you had, and look what the things you've been able to do from that standpoint of just with the Aggie pride. Now that our kids have new facilities in engineering, what we're gonna do now? What level are we gonna rise to now?
Bro. When I saw that robot, fam,
oh no, my wife was scared. Hey, listen, my wife.
Let me tell you something.
She went to basketball game last night, and she said, "What the hell's all this stuff going on?" Just like
Well, the other thing too, like so I'm walking around the campus, and then we got these robots delivering the food. Then all of a sudden, but when you went to the engineering building, there was a robot out here saying "hot dog."
Come on.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
man,
they got like a legit robot, a full body robot.
Oh, in the entrance when you walk in there?
No, they're doing research on like robotics.
Oh, I got you. Oh,
and they got like a robot in the engineering building, and that thing is vicious, bro.
It's bad, man.
And they got a hologram. They're doing some hologram research, so like you can bring in a hologram. When they had like Tupac for Coachella. Dude, it's different now, man.
David,
like,
that sounds like Skynet though, man, from Terminator 2. You talking about robots?
Well, we only got one. Like when we get
that's all it takes.
It's still dope.
When you get like 10 of them, bro, then you gotta worry.
Look how fast that happened, guys.
All right. So look,
that happened.
All right, Craig, I'm gonna throw it to you real quick. I'm gonna be a little Debbie Downer in the room.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
What else is new?
Let's say we get the money. Let's say this 1891 club jumps off.
Yeah.
We raise all this money. We get all these bonds or whatever Willow was talking about with the debt.
Yeah.
And we get the infrastructure, right?
Right.
Craig, do we have a coaching staff that's ready for the Colonial Athletic Association? Will we have to make some staff investments, changes, upgrades?
You got to give them raises at least. I'll tell you that.
There you go, Dave. Now you speak my language now. There you go.
I think. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead, Craig.
No. Go for it, Craig. Go for it, boss.
All right. Yeah. Are there going to be changes? Yes. It's inevitable. Anytime you move into a higher level of competition, you're going to have to reevaluate. Every program is going to have to be evaluated at the end of the school year. And some of the programs are ready to compete right away.
Yes.
And some are going to challenge for a championship in the CAA. There's a couple that I'm concerned about. There's no question about it. I think our men's basketball program really has me concerned. Football wise, I think we'll be okay. We'll have to still feel. I'm waiting to see who's going to step into those two positions.
Are you concerned, Craig? Are you concerned that football has been so quiet about this? I have not seen one quote in support.
That's good.
No, I'm talking about in support of this move because usually, like Coach Jones was out on basketball. Was like, yeah, I can't wait to go to CIA. And I'm thinking, Coach, you need to make sure you still at A&T next year, But I haven't seen anything from football players, football coaches. Nobody has been like, hooray!
Well, that's been consistent with our off-season message.
As I said before, I'm glad that they're preoccupied with getting ready for this coming season.
Okay, so that's how you read into
that. Okay. And it doesn't make it is. Right now, that's not an issue for a football team because they still got to play in the Big South this fall.
Exactly. And we did enough talking last year before the season.
First things first. Things first. We got to get on the other side of that 5 and 6. That's the first thing we've got to do.
Gotcha. You're right. I forgot about that. We still
if you want to keep it a buck, the way that the Big South is structured right now, we should be able to win it this year.
We should.
I agree with. I agree with you. I agree with you.
The only threat is Campbell.
Campbell, and we gonna find out. We gonna find out.
Dang on good recruiting class, man.
Yeah,
I got the interview. I got to interview Mike Minner from my podcast a few months ago. Yeah, like we do a podcast on the Carolina Panthers, and we have a legend series for our Patreon page.
Oh, hold on a second. Okay, keep talking because I think my son knows you. Hold on a second. Keep talking. Go ahead.
So we interviewed him, and it was funny. It was funny how we got the interview. So we primarily focused on this Panthers career because that was the original intention. But this was around the time that we just moved into the Big South. So me and my partner had every intention to wear Aggie gear into the interview. Normally we wear Panthers gear, but for this one, we had to throw in the Aggie gear. My partner's an Aggie as well. So then when we didn't tell him that it was about, we were going to talk about the Big South too. But we primarily focused on his career. But when we had the Aggie gear on, he knew what it was. And we had a pretty good interview. We talked about the conference and what the Big South was about. And we also primarily focused on his career. Because for somebody as good as a Panther as he was, he never got his just due. He never made the Pro Bowl because he was in the freaking conference with
John
I
didn't realize
Mike Minner was a hitter, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
he never made the Pro Bowl. I didn't know that. I would have guessed that he made one Pro Bowl.
Don would not. Them safeties in that conference at the time.
Yeah, there was some dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as good as Campbell is, I still wouldn't. I'm going to have to deal with a Gardner Webb team too who had a pretty decent recruiting year, but A&T, we were no slouches in the recruiting area either. So it's those three teams really. Whoever wins, whoever comes out best 2 out of 3 in those head-to-head matchups is going to win the Big South this fall.
So Dave, Dave, real quick, you're a celebrity because my son, he told me, he's like, Dad, when you get big, you're gonna be like these dudes, because he watches your podcast every week. You awesome. do the Carolina Panthers like little round table deal with
we go live every Monday.
You go live every Monday. What's the name of the podcast?
Panther Nation Podcast. We're the largest independent podcast on YouTube.
My man. And my son told me, he's like, Dad, you gotta step your game up. These dudes are killing you. I was like, who is so I mean, now,
we started the show back in 2017. That's awesome. It was just some randomness, right? Like me and my buddy was just arguing about the Panthers, then we just started recording. And then that's
how it is. Hey, these two guys over here, that's how we start. We just
yeah, man. It just went off. Like initially I was like, we'll just do it. Maybe a few folks will listen. 1 turned to 10, turned to 1,000, now 15,000. Like it's just
15,000 followers, subscribers on your YouTube.
Yeah, and, I always joke. My partner Rashad, he's the anchor in it, man. He does all the draft content, so we got a lot of things off season. I do fantasy stuff, but we primarily focus on the Panthers. Like this week, we were going to talk more about the CAA move because we're both Aggies. But then all of a sudden, all this Panthers news popped in, and the show changed into a Panthers show.
Gotcha. All right. So I had to reach out to you offline and figure out, because we try to do phone calls, man. We can't figure that stuff out for nothing, man. Like
there's a couple ways to do it.
Okay, we'll talk about we'll talk. We'll work it. Yeah. All right. So guys, I think Troy's going to bed, right? So and it's already 10:30. So
man, I got a snowstorm to deal with tomorrow. So.
Okay, I got you. All right, so let's sign off here, guys. Craig, any other last thoughts about this move and this town hall tonight? Did we cover everything pretty much?
Yeah. I think A&T has positioned itself now to where we can stay where we need to stay, and until circumstances allow us to maybe make that move up to FBS in 7-8 years or so, because ultimately that's where we're headed. Or eventually we'll head there, but this is a good impetus. The timing may not be great, but it's going to give us a chance to realize our full potential as an FCS program, as a top FCS program. So all I can do is get out the checkbook and and be there for every game. That's why I would urge all the Aggies now to really dig into your pockets. So it's time to put all the crying and whining and complaining and bitching and griping and all that stuff. Just trash it. We've got a big challenge ahead. We've got a chance to make some real history in this league, to do something that Tennessee State wasn't able to do to do, and that's win on the other guy's home court. And A&T, if anybody can do it, if anybody can come in and change the dynamic of FCS football and HBCU football, it's here. It's not at Jackson State. It's not in the SWAC. It's not in the MEAC. This is the opportunity to prove once and for all that we are just as good as anybody else out there. So either step to the challenge or shut the hell up.
Hey, let's leave it at that, man. That was perfect.
Yeah,
hey, so
I
look,
with that.
So for I got Jeff Mills, News and Record, former News and Records beat writer, Big Willa Brown, Marquell Cartwright, and Steve Harrington of the AAF. If you guys join the 1891 Club, please go to BlueDeathValley.com and find out all the information, and go to the AAF membership page and join up. And David R. I don't know what your last name is. David R.
Rose, man. I just did David R. because I had P and P there. I just wanted to put my initials.
That's perfect. And check out, he has a super podcast that my son's a fan of. So
yeah, good stuff.
He vouches for you. And then Doug Brown, and you'll see him on the golf course with some of those big time donors.
It's the plan.
It's getting warm now. And of course, legendary Craig Turner. All that hard-hitting information. So I'm Samaj Marsh, and this has been a great show, man. The after party to the I think it was like a first of its kind town hall. I wasn't expecting it, but it was very insightful. And,
I figured they would have to do it.
You felt they had pressure?
They had to do it because I think because of the short stint with the Big South, like you had no way to not do it. It would have looked sillier if you didn't do it, even though it was the right move. But you have to do something.
Dave, who do you think sold? Because I don't think that was Chancellor Martin. He's not a big time communicator. Let's be honest. He's more of a get it done behind the scenes. Who convinced him to say let's go ahead and put this town hall together? You think Earl said we need to do this, or somebody told Earl? Somebody at A&T was like, we got to get in front of this, guys. This is
the thing. It's funny because like the way that the news coverage happened, they had to do something because like
it was moving
when we
fast.
found out Thursday they were about to do it, I was like, it's happening. I was with my classmates. I said, it's happening. They're gonna probably vote on it tomorrow, and then they're gonna do it next week, and they're gonna have to tell the Aggies by the end of the week. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the alumni pressure came through. Like, I'm pretty sure of it. Like, there's no question.
But it was a good thing. Like, I think in retrospect, it helped their cause a lot more. Just to go out.
And it was good to hear from him.
Yes, he still delivered.
We've got some smart people up top, man. We've got some good people. We got some really nice. We got a nice crew up there and some smart individuals. I think that can help steer us in the right direction, man. So I think we've got some good people influencing those decisions. So,
all right.
No, the leadership's good up there, man. Like there's no question about that. And I know it's easy to say, well, Martin wanted this, that's what we're going to get. But the reality is, Chancellor Martin has a vision. He's not thinking just about a year. He's thinking a decade down the line.
Yeah,
and he's hitting.
Hey, you're right. And I'll tell you something else, guys, before we close. Go back and look at some of those old articles and some of the things the chancellor was saying 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago. Look at 2016 when he flipped the entire academic footprint of the university. We've been moving. This isn't anything new.
Oh yeah,
and he has done, and we have been moving in the direction that he said he wanted to move in since he showed up again on campus. So, man. Go back and look. I read through some of those things today.
I'll tell you something.
And he's done everything he said that he wanted to do and more. And we're rolling, man. We're rolling.
In 2011, 2012, 2013, it sounded crazy, but it's happening, bro. It's happening, bro.
Even reading those articles, we're like, huh? you know.
Nah, he executing. He executing
more.
He called his shot.
And he's doing more. We always out punch our weight, and he's out punching his weight with his goals.
with his own goal. Well, with what the staff perceived in the university, had, we had our set of goals, and he said, no, double that. We need to go bigger than that. Right?
And we don't get out here, but you gotta think, man, how much energy it must be to drive down East Market and you hit that first right and you see a building with your name on it. If you ain't motivated to keep on doing what you're doing, imagine the Doug Brown School of whatever, and every time you ride by campus, that's like the crown jewel. You're like that. I mean, you ain't gonna retire no time soon. You gonna get
like
whatever.
That meme
he could have closed it out then.
That it was time for him to go and that we need to make some changes. And they were like, and everybody jumped in the chat and said, "Did you see the building that the different man just put up with his name on it?" Yeah, hold off on saying he needs to go. Let's keep him around a little longer, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are in the borough, but if you are, you need to walk through that building, bro, and you'll understand
it's
what's
nice.
Yeah, I'm on the north side. So
it is a monster.
I'm gonna drive down this weekend and check it out. Yeah. All right,
driving down to see it. Driving down the outside is different.
I'm gonna go in. Yeah, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get in. I'm just look, but Dave, I'm jaded because I'm a Crosby kid. So when I was in school, they wouldn't let us even get over there. Like as soon as you walk in there, they're like, "Excuse me, are you the right place?" They could smell the journalism on me as soon as I walked in. They knew I wasn't built for no McNair. So
I took 3 classes. I took 3 classes in Crosby Hall, and then I left. I took my 3 and I walked off. That's how it worked, man.
Listen,
I took my requirements. I took my 2 Englishes, my humanities, and I walked on off, man. That's how it went down.
Man, I used to go in there. I went in there one time when I got locked out and had to get my key from my roommate. So that's the only time I went in there to get my key. This place is.
Yeah, they knew if you was one of them and you was not. So yeah. All right, guys, let's get off. But
okay.
Blue Death After Dark. We will see you guys next week. And for everybody, thanks a lot. Oh yeah, somebody, my man Garvis joined. Hit that subscribe button. We got like 5 subscribers, and we be putting out some good content. So y'all guys subscribe to this channel. We need to have about half of what my man David got. All right there. Yeah. So subscribe to the channel and come back to the board, and we're gonna talk all about this next throughout the week, and we'll try to do something next weekend for you guys next week with the podcast stuff. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.